Welcome back, everybody, to our final matchup of the day and the final matchup here in the Proving Grounds Open Qualifier presented by Unified. Once again, I am Grapes, joined alongside my good friend Hawk. And Hawk, we've had some exciting games so far today, but to say that we were done already is definitely not the case. We have our final matchup between the two undefeated teams left in the Swiss bracket, Golden Guardians Academy versus the 100 Thieves next.
Yeah, Golden Guardians Academy up against 100 Thieves next. What an incredible game. I mean, the number 1 seed up against the number 2 seed. The Academy team up against the could have been Academy team. Two LCS affiliated organizations. Lots of pride on the line. Amazing players in all 10 positions for this game. We could not have asked for something better. And guess what? This could be a preview of the finals for the whole tournament. And we get it right here in the open qualifier.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine that there's still a group stage that starts tomorrow after this? I mean, despite getting this huge matchup, there still is a lot on the line here. Obviously, both of these teams would want to claim that number 1 overall seed by taking the win over the other. Taking a look at this matchup, though, that 100 Thieves played against Immortals AoE over on the Unified 2 channel. Look at that timer, Hawk. It was a lot faster than we saw from 100X in their previous game.
This is looking a little bit more like the games that 100X played yesterday, where their average game time was around 26 minutes. I mean, and let's look at the damage. General Sniper smurfed it up against Anime Girl up there in the top side. And again, Anime Girl, not a bad laner by any stretch of the imagination. This guy has some mechanical talent, that's to say the least. And Sniper just has more. So on the Camille, absolutely going crazy. We talked about at the very beginning of the day, Sniper had a bit of a quieter day yesterday. Well, today he's been smurfing it. First on the Renekton, next on the Camille, and now his big test, Tony top.
And just to get a little bit more scale in terms of how well General Sniper performed that game. You saw the damage numbers, of course. The final KDA, 9, 1, and 10 on the Camille. So absolutely insane work coming out from General Sniper. He's scaling. That's what it is. You start off with 1 kill.
He's getting comfortable.
Maybe 3 the next game, 6, and now 9. I mean, if the scale keeps going, looks like Tony Top might be in for a bit of a rough game, but that's not necessarily how things work around here. Golden Guardians Academy still that established academy organization with established LCS level players. Definitely expecting to see some fight out of them, but overall, still very, very excited to see this matchup. 100 Thieves next have chosen red side to start off for this game, and that means, Hawk, that we might see another R5 sniper pick.
Yeah, exactly. They chose the red side. This means they want to get counter pick, and it tells me that they want to keep enabling the boy wonder up in the top side. But of course, there's 4 other positions in this game, and you were saying how Golden Guardians Academy, they are filled with academy players, LCS experienced players. 4 of those players have experience in the LCS. But if we actually look down at the matchups, Fnatic up against Iconic, Sword, who is going to still be playing in this 3rd game, up against Ryoma, maybe not the most stunted matchups. I mean, you would probably put them in favor of Golden Guardians Academy, but Fnatic and Sword are absolutely the caliber of players that could potentially challenge Iconic and Ryoma. But my big question lies down there on the bottom side, specifically looking in the support position. Donbray up against Chime. Donbray's had a phenomenal tournament so far, but he has gotten caught out just a few times in this tournament, especially in the Maryville game that we saw earlier today, making the game a little difficult. Meanwhile, Chime has looked like probably the best support in the entire tournament. And then also Array up against Stixxay. While Array may be one of the best ADCs in Amateur, Stixxay has an LCS championship.
And an MSI finalist appearance. I mean, this guy's accolades kind of just go through the roof. Of course, now as a positional coach here for Golden Guardians Academy and subbing into the bot lane position, still has a lot of those mechanics going up against Array. And Array is somebody that we actually didn't really get to talk about a whole lot during the first matchup between 100 Thieves Next and Maryville, because a lot of the focus was, of course, towards the top side of the map. But, I mean, he's looked very, very good even throughout last year on both Supernova and Resolve, and even this year throughout some of the open qualifiers, he was the one who really put in a lot of the damage and was a very hard carry for them towards the end of that game we had against Maryville.
Absolutely. And remember, Array got fed in that game. He didn't end up being the biggest carry on his team, but he was very consistent and he was doing damage throughout every single team fight. So being able to replicate that performance up against the likes of Stixay and Chime would be monumental for his team. We did see him on the Jinx earlier. We've been talking about that pick, it seems like, all day, and what it's capable of, because it's capable of a lot. We've seen it in both of our games so far today. The amount of damage that it can put down is just absolutely massive. And so I feel like if Array's able to get back onto something like that, it could be really, really impactful.
And just like that, we are into the draft for the final game of the day and of the open qualifiers here of the Proving Grounds Open OQ presented by Unified. Golden Guardians Academy, as we said before, will be on that blue side, while 100X will be repping their colors over on red. Starting off here, it'd be interesting to see what kind of bans end up going through. Remember that in the last game, Maryville definitely saved a lot of their soul, probably prioritized a lot of their solo laners towards the early first phase. But right now in the bans, definitely big focus again towards Sniper.
A lot of respect thrown towards Sniper's Aurelia, and we know why. It's because he can do a lot with that champion if given the opportunity. But definitely nice to see that one respected even by the likes of Tony Top. And remember, 100X has access to that R5 counter pick. They can give Sniper anything that they want should they so choose, assuming it has not been banned or picked before that point. But of course, that does also mean that Golden Guardians Academy has access to that first pick. And we already see Caitlyn getting banned out, still having extremely high presence throughout the tournament, despite going actually unpicked and unbanned in our last game. Seems that 100X does not want to allow 6A to dominate the bottom lane.
And it doesn't look like Golden Guardians Academy want General Sniper to be dominating the top lane. The signature Riven taken off the board. Tony Top, obviously a very capable top laner. We saw how well he did in that previous game on the Gwen. But always a little bit scary when you're going up against somebody for the first time in a competitive environment. Like, you really don't know what you're going to face going up against Sniper. And we saw him go against the former LCS top laner in Niles, the amateur top laner in Anime Girl in the last game, and now going up against that Academy top laner, trying to pick up all three of the region's best.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sniper, you know, he had a lot of jungle help in game one today, right? And smurfed that game, really. Ran through a lot of team fights, did extremely well in the Niles in the one-on-one. And then last game up against Anime Girl, again, just flexing his muscles. As you said, if we keep on the same pace, 12 kills are on the menu for Sniper in this one. As Lee Sin actually going to be banned out. We've seen it picked by Red Side both games so far today on stream. It will not be available for Fnatic this time around, so we will have to go down to something different.
Yep, and I will be the Jinx takeaway here from Stixay as well. So a lot of focus down towards the bottom lane. Of course, that experienced LCS duo in Stixay and Chime, definitely not something to, you know, something you have to worry about a whole lot, as Golden Guardians Academy will be selecting their first pick. Don't think it will be that Shaco. Instead, will be a Viego Hover and a lock-in for Iconic.
Yeah, Viego's something that we've seen a little bit lower priority on than expected so far in this tournament. I thought Viego would be one of the most prevalent junglers, and he still is, but we've been seeing a little bit more of the early game focus. The Lee Sins, the Xin Zhaos, the Trundles of the world. But with Lee Sin getting taken away, one of the more difficult matchups for this Viego, it seems like Iconic wants to go towards it, as Sniper going to take himself the Jace early on. I also want to talk about this Jinx ban real quick while I have the time, because Jinx and Caitlyn getting taken off removes by far the two strongest ADCs in the game. We did just see Golden Guardians Academy play the Thresh of Aphelios. I think it had success. I don't think it was necessarily the champions themselves that won them the game. So it'll be interesting to see if they go back towards it or down to something else like potentially a Jhin.
Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening there, as neither team has locked in their AD carry to start off in this first rotation, but Fnatic will be locking in his jungler as that Xin Zhao. Expecting to see a whole lot of priority up towards the top side, as Sniper is on one of his most signature champions here on the Jace. Golden Guardians could respond with their jungler, or they could go for some other things. Ryoma's Twisted Fate was something that was previously banned against them, and definitely something to be afraid of here.
Yeah, and the Twisted Fate, if you want to attack an early pick Jace, that's one way to do it. Gold card up with the Destiny Gate on the top side. It can easily shut him down, even if flashes available. So definitely going to force General Sniper to tread carefully as Tony Top is playing with our hearts. Probably not going to be a Teemo, and it is the Camille. So yeah, General Sniper needs to be careful up here on the top side for sure. After level 6, Hextech Ultimatum into Destiny Gate is almost certain to spell death. Of course, the Jace could technically be flexed into the mid lane should 100 Thieves choose to do so. I don't expect it, but it is an option here for Sword.
Yeah, I mean, you see Jace, you see Sniper on the same team. You probably just assume the two go hand in hand. And with that Galio lock-in for 100 Thieves next, I'm expecting that to actually go towards Sword instead of something more like a support pickup here for Dawnbray. Sword back on TSM Academy when he was still, primarily a mid laner, really prioritized champions that could get around the map and provide supportive elements to his team. And a champion like Galio fits just that. We're headed into the second phase of the Ban's Bard, already taken off the table as both teams have yet to select their bot lanes.
Yeah, Galio was, I believe, what Sword played in the last game up against Immortals AoE to great success. And if you want something that is going to defend a potential side lane attack, it is a good champion to do it on. It's not been the most popular pick for a lot of teams, but it's definitely something that Sword is comfortable on. It's able to push waves and roam to help his team, and that seems to be what is expected of him.
Yeah, and as we said before, Array, Dawnbray, 6A, and Chime all have not, picked up anything here. And so we're seeing big focus towards the support pool. Going to try and knock out some of the signature champions here for both of these players. Of course, Chime, the namesake Bard, will not be available for him in this one. Also seeing Braum, Nautilus, and Leona, which makes you wonder, Hawk, what are the rest of the champions that are available on the support tier list?
Ooh, Zyra's been something that has been cropping up in solo queue. Okay, it's gone.
Don't talk about hovers, that's the rule.
Yeah, that's why you don't talk about hovers. Zyra has been something popping up in solo queue. It has actually been kind of good recently. I'm not sure if it's been picked in this tournament, but either way, the Rakan gives a playmaker. And I actually loved seeing sort of the meta of the bans as they shaped out in the second phase, because Chime is target ban with Bard, so then GGA responds by taking away a good answer, a good playmaker. And then the Braum, which beats a lot of the playmakers, is 100x basically daring Golden Guardians that they're going to play one. And so they take away, again, the Nautilus. So either way, Jhin is going to be the lock-in. I expected to see this one. It's pretty much the next strongest AD carry on the current patch all around, and it synergizes very well with its composition. Long range, follow-up to what is already a heavily playmaking focused composition. You've got a lot of single target damage, and the Rel will provide good AoE lockdown. I feel like the Rel synergy is not actually the best here with the composition. There's not really anyone to follow up on a wombo combo, but it is one of the better supports that is still currently available. So it makes sense to see that one locked in.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, especially when you consider a lot of the champions that were already taken off the table. Leona and Nautilus and Thresh and Braum and Bard. Lots of supports already off the table. Something like Alistar, another champion that could have been the possibility, but instead Chime will opt towards the Rel. On the other side, Dawnbray will be on the Rakan to match alongside Array, who went with this R5 Ezreal pickup here. So a lot more mobility and maybe trying to get around the map more on this 100 next squad.
Yeah, I really like the Ezreal Rakan here, 400x. It's very good at keeping itself alive. The Ezreal can arcane shift backwards, and Rakan can swiftly E to him with the Battle Dance. So a lot of options for escape should a potential dive come through. It's not the strongest lane, however, Jhin Rel isn't either. So I feel like that will be a pretty well-contested lane. It'll come down significantly to whether or not there's a leash and any sort of early game plans from these teams. But looking across the board, 100x pre-6, I actually feel like has the playmaking ability. Fnatic on the Xin Zhao up against Iconics Viego here. If he's able to get something going early, it could really help bridge his team through what will be an explosive mid-game from Golden Guardians Academy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of that, though, comes through that top side, Hawk. Sniper on the Jace, Tony Top on the Camille. A very, explosive matchup that can kind of go either way depending on what ends up happening. And there's so many champions that both of these teams have set up to try and help out that sort of volatile matchup. You have the Twisted Fate Galio mid lane matchup. Neither of those mid laners care anything about the lane. They just want to go around the map and try to impact the rest of their team. And you also have these junglers here in Fnatic, Xin Zhao and Iconics Viego that will almost certainly be pathing towards the top side more often than not.
Definitely. Even the supports, we saw a solo lane bot lane in the first game today. Would not be surprised to see it happen again, at least early on. But yeah, pre-6, really looking for Fnatic to make the plays. It's not even that you have to get ahead in this game, but having a lead would be nice because, like I said, Golden Guardians, once they hit 6, this mid game is going to be very fast. They're going to be looking aggressively for picks, I would almost guarantee. So, definitely something to keep your eye on right there. And again, the Camille counter pick into the Jace is not so much of a laning counter pick. Early on, Jace stat checks the Camille in almost every facet, as well as being arranged into melee matchups. So the Camille was a lot more about the setup later on and how it's able to function in a side lane, not so much about actually winning the early game matchup. So if Sniper controls the lane well early against Tony Top and Fnatic's able to get involved, you might be able to find a dive or two and set this Camille behind, which will deny so much of the playmaking ability that Golden Guardians has.
Yeah, and about that playmaking, I mean, you have to remember, this is an academy squad. These are players that have been chosen to be the level above some of the players that find themselves currently on 100 Thieves next. And so when you have maybe higher skill in that regard, potential for additional communication to come through definitely is huge. So expect a lot of good things to come out from Ryoma and from the rest of Golden Guardians Academy as we are on to the Rift. That Frog is excited to get into the action here as well. Both teams are sitting at 4-0 and are looking to make it 5, another 5 stack, so to speak, as well. 100 Thieves next are going to try and just get Iconic out of his own lane.
The Earth strategy coming through right here from 100 Thieves next. You'll have to see it. No kills, though, however, as Golden Guardians did not shake on the gentleman's agreement beforehand that everyone he meets top lane. Shame on them. No, but yeah, nice wars just traded back and forth. Mostly looking at early lane priority for Sniper. Makes a lot of sense, however. Golden Guardians Academy will get that ward in to confirm that Fnatic starting on the bottom side, likely to path towards top.
Yep, and I mean, again, when you look at these top laners, it's not really that much of a surprise. Well, both junglers are going to path towards the top side early on. Wow, what a big surprise. But I mean, the ward just basically confirms what has already been known. Fnatic,
no surprises
for most of the game, yeah, has been, you know, pathing towards this top side. We'll be doing the same here alongside Iconic. So just as we said before, all eyes have to be on this top lane matchup and how it ends up turning out.
Yeah, and I said that bot lane priority will come down to who gives a leash, and it is 100 Thieves next, with Array and Dawnbreak giving the leash there to Fnatic. Meanwhile, it is Iconic starting with the leash list clear on the Viegos. So Fnatic will be going a little bit faster in his jungle path than Iconic will, but at the expense of bottom lane. So Array and Dawnbreak will be forced back off this wave most likely.
Which is not something that you're too upset about, especially when you're playing an ADC like Ezreal. Just want to, you know, stand back, get some extra gold with some of the Mystic shots in the first strike. Just farm up until you get a couple more items and end up being able to impact the game later on. Top side, though, still some heavy trading as General Sniper has reached level 2 first. Shock Blast will not get any additional damage onto Tony. But the bottom side of GGA is the one to ding that early level in the beginning due to the early push that they had, and they will be able to crash the second wave into the turret.
Yeah, that Shock Blast singed the hairs off of Tony Top right there, I think. A Sniper is actually not able to fully crash it. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. Sniper also starting with a longsword 3 potion start, so looking to trade heavily, you'd have to think in this top lane with that start, as Iconic realizes that his top laner is most likely not in danger to the crash not coming through, so he will just path back down to his wolves. Fnatic, however, might have other plans.
We'll see if they end up trying to go for this sort of play. The wave is not in the best spot for Sniper to try and go for any sort of dive. Instead, it'll just be Fnatic getting some early priority around the Rift Scuttler with the top lane pushed in. And it looks like Iconic is just going to see that and head towards bottom.
Yeah, really awkward wave management right there. Sniper just not able to fully crash the wave, and then you know, he's still trying to re-crash it, but Tony Top doing a good job of just zoning him back that little bit, sacrificing a little bit of health to keep it in a good spot for himself. And it does mean that it will just be junglers trading Scuttle Crabs. However, Fnatic is down a camp. He skipped both of his topside camps, whereas, remember, we saw Iconic go back to his wolves.
Early engage here down in the bottom lane. Chime with the Glacial Augment is going to slow up the rest of 100 next. 6-8 with a nice 4-shot, takes it right to about 50% HP. No lethal just yet, but we can see this lane pressure here for Golden Guardians Academy. The experienced bot lane duo starting to pay off as they're already up a wave and crashing another one into the turret.
Yeah, Array should be able to pick up most of the CS to keep it close, but I mean, that plate already about halfway down here on the bottom side, and 6A and Chime is doing a really good job in their isolated 2v2. It's that early wave priority that they got from not having a leash that is just paying dividends for them.
Yeah, and so far really has been working down there. You take a look at the gold, it's about 300 in favor of Golden Guardians Academy, and a lot of that is focused down towards the bot lane, about a 6 CS lead over towards Stixay. Gonna take that reset and try to just continue to go forward with that advantage. Sniper, though, up in the top lane is
still hanging around.
Going a bit aggressive here onto Tony top. Fnatic is around to make sure that if some sort of hook shot goes forward from Tony, he will be there to punish. It's very tense right now.
Yeah, I mean, Tony top, here we go. He's about to face check.
Yep,
Chime's
here. Goes. Hook shot forward, not able to cancel that out. But now Chime has arrived. Tony top doesn't have the hook shot, but does have a decent amount of damage if he's able to get in. There's a flash forward to stun up Sniper. The Ignite is ticking, and Sniper still remains alive. Shock Blast does land on the Tony top, and with one more auto, Fnatic secures first blood for 100 Thieves next. And now Sniper has the ability to go and continue to move forward. Chime will stun up the Jason, take him down.
Here
as
comes
Iconic has now arrived to the fight. One more shot will take it down, and Iconic goes for another kill. 2-1 in favor of GGA. Might try to make it a little bit more. Here comes the crash down onto Donbray. Grand challenge entrance into the wrong side of the map, as Donbray will try to delay the inevitable for a little bit longer, as Ryoma will surely come over to finish the job.
Yeah, Ryoma probably going to pick this one up. Sniper bending it like Beckham there with the shock blast to help pick up the first blood, but 100 next going way too hard, not respecting the counter gang potential of Iconic, so it ends up being a 3-for-1 at the end of it all, and Sniper could be a dive. Fnatic's on the way, as well as Donbray.
Once again, just Hex flashing forward to lock it down. Sniper, the Kid Prodigy goes down, and now Fnatic respawning again, and is not going to be alive for very long. It's going to be another kill going over to Iconic. Donbray has re-entered the fight, landing a nice chunk of damage with the Grand Entrance, but Sword is the only other player here for 100 next. Does not have a whole lot of damage on the Galio, and with the big wave still in play here, looks like 100X could still be in trouble. There's the re-dive, and Iconic is trying to dash forward. One more shot with the Blade of the Ruined King could do it. Tony top falls on the other side to Sword, and a bit of an over-aggressive dive, it seems, from Golden Guardians Academy. But at the end of the day, they got what they wanted, which is to keep Sniper behind.
Yeah, it's a 2-for-2 at the end of all of that fighting under the top tower right there. But a lot of minions denied, plates picked up for Golden Guardians, and Golden Guardians is straight up, they're just one step ahead. 100 next seems like they know exactly what and when things are happening, but they're just not quite in position each time, and they overstep again. So Sniper is the initial target. He's waiting on his team to arrive, but Tony top critically has hit level 6 by this point. Teleport comes in from Sword, matched by the Twisted Fate ultimate as Fnatic goes in. At this point, it looks pretty lost. 400 next, but Sword is able to trade one back and then buy time under tower with Donbray to, fortunately for them, be able to trade back one more kill as Tony top tanks it up eventually. Yep. Yeah, tanking up the turret just
Tony ends up dying.
One more, and then both the support and mid laner are able to escape with their lives. But again, XP and farm are the big advantages here for Golden Guardians Academy.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. So the kills might have been a little bit more even than they might have wanted, but take a look at this experience graph here. You have Tony top still at that slight advantage. The one winner, though, is Sword. Picked up 2 kills and that massive wave in the top lane nearly by himself. Of course, as the Galio, not necessarily the best target to put a lot of your resources in, but Sword will be able to impact the other map in a lot of ways, especially now that he has this last chapter. We'll be able to push these waves out faster and continue to roam around.
Yeah, Sword actually managing to pick up a lot more of that top lane XP than I first expected, so 100x not quite as far behind in that department as expected. Regardless, they are down 200 gold, 2,000, excuse me, mostly due to the kills as well as the tower plates that have been taken. Flashes on the top side are non-existent, as well as in the support position is only the 80 carries that have those available. Herald is on the map as well as First Drake. It is a chem tech should these teams look to posture around it. And once again, I think we're seeing the return of solo lane, bot lane. It seems that Array is used to this sort of playstyles. 100x is mounting a contest over this Herald.
We'll see if they end up doing it. We do see Array making his way towards this top side, but Stixay will be the bot laner who gets here first. Iconic still hitting in onto the Rift Herald, sitting at about half HP. Donbray and Sword are the ones who are going to have to try and engage 400 Thieves next, but it looks like Chime is the one who wants to do the opposite. Tony Top was looking for a flank, but Sniper pushes him off for now. The Eye of the Herald has been exposed, but take a look at Chime to flash forward and crash down onto 2. Big knockouts coming out from the Heartbreaker of Iconic, but he's going to be the one to get shut down first. Kill of the game, of this fight, going over to 100 Thieves next. Grand Entrance will take down another one onto Chime. Curtain Call was not very effective. It looks like actually 100 next at the end of the day will be the ones to secure that Herald and get out.
100 next with a huge team fight win up on the top side. 2 for 0, and Fnatic landing the smite on the Herald. It's Chime with the initial engage, but remember, this is not a wombo combo composition right here from Golden Guardian, so the follow-up is mediocre at best, and then Array, True Shot Barrage is Iconic, Chime then drops on the backside. The rest of the team is zoned out, and with the jungler still alive, it's an easy smite here for Fnatic. The gold gap closing by nearly 1,000, and the Herald will close that even more once it is summoned. Yes, Ryoma and Iconic are still ahead, but let's not forget that was a shutdown on the Viego.
This game, Hawk, is running a bit eerily similar to the first game that we saw today between 100 Thieves Next and Maryville University. But kind of on the other side. We saw Golden Guardians Academy in this one ahead of 100X for a decent chunk of this game. But then just one play after another, a couple of acts of over-aggression from the Academy squad. Now 100X all of a sudden right back into this game. Only 1k gold deficit. Sword is sitting at 3-0-1, and they're in a very good position to continue to go forward.
Yeah, and 100X composition will spike very hard on one item. Jace with that Eclipse does so much damage. Gore Drinker on the Xin Zhao. Ezreal sort of looking for 2 as well, but the Galio with the Rocket Belt can do a lot. So, you know, they're very well set up for these mid-game team fights. As Array's face-checking Arel.
Oh yeah, Array definitely in a whole lot of trouble. He might have the Arcane Shift, but he's not going to even be able to use it. Locked down by about 6.5 seconds of crowd control there, if my math is right. As Golden Guardians Academy pick up another pick into the bottom lane with the help of Iconic.
Yep, Array with the unlucky face check, obviously assuming that Golden Guardians Academy was not in position to kill him, the word. So he does give over a kill. I believe that is another one going the way of Iconic. Tony Top, though, could be on the wrong end of a 3-man, but look at this. The support squad is coming up the top lane. Twisted Fate Ultimate is available as well. And Donbray is still level 5, as is Chime. Both these supports have been roaming a lot. Very little XP on either of them.
Yeah, it seems like 100X knows better than to maybe go for a more aggressive dive. Rift Herald will get its singular proc off, taking down 2 plates into the hands of Fnatic and Sniper, but they will not get more than that. Very good decision by Golden Guardians Academy to send their jungle support duo up towards that top lane just in time. Always have the threat of that Destiny coming through as well. And with that, not much was given over on that play.
No, not much indeed. And if we take stock of where the gold is actually allocated right now in this game, Sword has 3 of the kills right now for 100 next. And while a 3-kill Galio can absolutely be a driving force, I don't think it feels quite as good as the 3-kill Viego on the side of Golden Guardians Academy. Oh. That's a flash.
Yeah, flash Everfrost coming in from Sword, and that's going to be enough to take down Ryoma. Fnatic will secure it with the final auto attack. And 100X evens the kill score up again. They're keeping this close, Hawk.
Maybe a 3-kill Galio can do stuff. A Sword pulling the trigger right there in the mid lane. Flash, Everfrost, taunt, Dragon's still alive at 13 minutes. Cats and dogs living together. I have no idea, but yeah, nice kill in the mid lane right there from 100 next, as both teams have completely ignored the bottom side of the map, meaning that lonely Chemtech Drake has not fallen yet. As once again, Tony Top finding himself on the business end of a 3-man.
Yeah, but here, you gotta take a look. Iconic is in the waits. Wave has crashed in, but doesn't look like Sniper, Donbray, or Fnatic want to engage just yet. Instead, it'll be the counter move by Tony Top alongside Ryoma going forward with the Destiny. Sniper is still alive, will flash away, and will survive. Iconic is taking very low. Ryoma still has to get away. A nice Magnus Storm coming in from Chime. He's locked down the members of 100 Thieves next. Nobody has died just yet, but it might just change in just a second. Ryoma forced to flash away from the wild card. True Shot Barrage barely misses. How has nobody died? Finally, Sniper secures the kill and gets another on top of that on Tony. Chime dashing forward again with the crash down, run to the turret, go the Thieves, and they might have gone a little bit too far. It is now Iconic versus Fnatic in the jungle matchup, and the LCS veteran will get the better hand. A double kill going over to the Viego, and 4 are dead for the Thieves.
What the hell just happened, Grapes, in the top lane? 4v4. It's 100 Thieves that make the first move, but it's Golden Guardians Academy that pull the trigger on the engage. Tony Top goes in, Hextech ultimatum on a sniper as curtain call. I don't think will kill Array. But yeah, Hextech ultimatum on TP. I'm gonna stop talking.
Nope. You can keep talking.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's okay. Oh, right. Wait. He's still looking. No,
okay,
go ahead.
Deep breaths. Deep breaths here as everything has fizzled out. A crazy amount of action on the top side right there. It's Sniper that gets engaged on first, but the Galio ultimate over the top does such a brilliant job of peeling away for Sniper. I have no idea how Golden Guardians Academy managed to live for so long. Tony Top had one good flash out. We're back to live because Sniper is fighting.
Well, you can look around. Take a look. You can see Fnatic and Donbray headed up towards the top side, and another wave is getting crashed.
I've seen this one before.
Yeah, same time, same place, same result. Potentially, Donbray going forward with the quickness. 3v1. Tony Top is not going to be able to get any sort of trade. Sniper, again, with a successful top dive, will pick up that first turret as well.
All right, 100 next finally equalizes the score. It was a 3-for-4 on the top side before. Now they're making it a 4-for-4 as well as managing to take that first brick.
Woo! Hooray! From downtown comes the True Shot Barrage. And despite all the attention 100 next have put towards the top side, they're going to get the Dragons as well.
Hooray! Type in thanks for leash in all chat after that one. 50, 57 I think is what I saw. Maybe it got down to 1. Iconic, I'm not sure if he didn't have Smite or if he didn't think he needed it or what, but Array manages to snipe that one away, and that is no small feat. Of course, it is a first dragon at 15 minutes, so not that Soul is going to be a huge threat as Sniper's in trouble.
Yep, definitely in trouble, and most likely dead. Still alive for now. Has a Conqueror pop.
Wait.
Heartbreaker forward.
No
Iconic gonna flash forward and finish the job. Got a little bit dicey there, but finally, the 15-year-old will die again. Gonna take a look at this dragon once more.
High
Array.
Mechanical outplay right here. Array is farming mid lane. He thinks that the enemy team is doing dragon. He presses the R key at the right time. Easy steal right there. Manages to take that one away. So, you know, if we go another 18 or so minutes, that Dragon Soul could be quite a threat, but even so, just the raw stats that Chemtech Soul provides, especially with such a offensive team composition of both these teams have, that swing in stats is impactful on its own. So 22 HP was the number. I just got word from production, so a game of inches.
Whoa. That's a lot of gold on the screen, but it is. We're taking a look at the numbers on the top. Yeah, that was a super bounce right there. But still, 2K in favor of Golden Guardians Academy, despite the plays that 100 Thieves Next have been able to accomplish. I mean, GGS still in a solid spot. You look at Iconic here on this Viego, 6-1-2. Absolute menace so far in this game. Working towards, I believe, that is a death's dance for that second item with the heavy physical damage composition that 100 Thieves set up. Will be very hard to take him down as he just rips through the team.
Yeah, most total gold in the game. Iconic 6-1-2. Massive on this Viego as Tony Top and the rest of Golden Guardians are going to wrest control of the bottom side of the map right here. They're up 2-1 in turrets. The gold is about 2,000 in their favor, which I feel like I said that about 10 minutes ago, Grapes. So that means that this game has been very back and forth, to say the least. As Herald is summoned up here in the mid lane. The charge will barely not kill a tower. So 100 next critically maintaining their last outer in this one.
Yeah, and that's pretty big for now. I mean, obviously, you have it's very close to falling in the mid lane, but just allowing some of this pressure on the map to remain for a little bit longer, 100 Thieves, always very crucial. And if we try to take a look at where this game is likely to head for the side of 100 Thieves Next, you got to take a look at the side laners here. General Sniper and Array are going to have to be the main damage dealers, I think, as this game begins to progress.
Yeah, and Grapes, you mentioned how one of the big win conditions here for... Oh, hold that thought.
Yeah, here Dragon Storm coming in from Chime, but might be a little bit too far forward, but they do lock down Sniper. Donbray has to flash away. Sword coming in from the teleport is going to shut down Iconic. Very big trade to secure at least an even set of events here for 100 Thieves Nexus. They were the ones who got engaged on first. It was a nice engage by Chime. Could have been a whole lot more. It was just a little bit cleaner on their end, but it will still be that mid inner outer turret falling. Take a look at Tony though, has come out from topside jungle, will have to hook shot away, and it looks like the fight has ended for now.
Yeah, and if we look at this one again, Chime seeing them on the sweeper decides to pull the trigger. Magnet Storm, Glacial Augment, and they managed to take down Sniper pretty quickly, but the Ezreal doing so much damage over the top, and as soon as Sword arrives, he's able to find an excellent taunt right there onto Iconic and pick up the shutdown. Although Golden Guardians picks up the tower on the backside, it's actually a pretty even play in terms of gold due to the 700 additional gold, or 400 additional gold, I should say, going into the 100x mid laner. 4-1-4, there were a lot of question marks about Sword coming in place of Insanity, and he's performed exceptionally well.
I mean, Galio definitely was a mainstay of Sword throughout the Academy season. Champion that he was able to perform on very, very well, and so in a similar situation to maybe where he was in 2021, not surprising to see him performing at a solid level. Now has that Zhonya's Hourglass in inventory as well to be even more tanky and stay alive for even longer to try and help out his team, and gonna lock up Stixxay. Here comes Donbray forward, whole chunk of damage coming over onto the Jhin, but it was not enough to secure a kill. Now gotta watch out for the TF. Ryoma will land that gold card onto Sniper, but a nice hero's entrance coming out from Sword to save everybody for now. The dragon has spawned again. Both sides are in the area for the first, it seems like the first time all game.
Yeah, 100 Thieves is trying to muscle their way in, and look at this. Stixxay forced to back after the big chunk that he took. It is a split fight right now from Golden Guardians Academy. 100 Thieves trying to zone them off. They're gonna look to pincer, but Jhin is nowhere to be found.
Dragon was secured here by 100 Thieves next, but take a look at Chime, gonna lock down Sniper yet again. Crescent Guard buys a lot of time, and Chime has to use a stopwatch. Sword will use one of his own, and it's just going to be Chime falling onto the back side. 1-for-1. Support have been traded, but now look at Iconic. Has the reset, gonna try to use a grand entrance to go forward. Heartbreaker in. Array has to Arcane Shift out, but the final shot from Stixxay will secure the kill onto Fnatic, as another kill will go over to Iconic, taking Fnatic's body and killing Array with it. Iconic absolutely insane in this game. 8-2-4. Golden Guardians in the fight, but the Dragon does go over to 100 next.
Yeah, 100x manages to pick up the objective, and the fight looked good from them initially. Chime found a massive flank with no follow-up. However, he was just trying to cut off the escape. 100 Thieves turns to fight, but they get taken down as soon as the curtain is called. Force shot through the jungler, as Golden Guardians Academy has started Baron here at 22 minutes. It's gone. It's gone.
Yeah.
Golden
Guardians. Fnatic was dead. The Sniper was bot lane. No TP ended up being expended. Just going to be that Baron, actually, after all of that Dragon fight, going over to Golden Guardians Academy. Taking a look at this replay, though. Gotta watch Chime on the backside.
Yeah, Chime has no follow-up on his engage, but he's got the stopwatch to buy time. And again, all it is about preventing the escape from 100 next. As soon as Chime drops, they try to start way, but by this point, the Jhin's in position, the Viego started resetting, and there's just no escape. Beautiful flash forward right there from Iconic to pick up an extra kill on the backside towards Array. And all of a sudden, this gold lead is double what it was a few minutes ago when we last checked in. And with Baron online, Golden Guardians Academy should be able to start pushing towards some of these two turrets that have been getting chunked throughout the game. Sword though, might have other ideas.
Looking to try to engage. Remember, Iconic is a target. Iconic has been shut down. The main carry here for Golden Guardians Academy is no longer alive, and now it's 4v5 for the side of 100 next. Sniper will get locked up on the ultimatum, but Sword will knock up a whole lot. Chime is trying his best with the Magnet Storm, but he will go down. Fnatic is the one to pick up the kill, and now it's a 3v5 favor the Thieves. The health bars are low, but they stave off the push for now. Curtain Call trying to find Sniper on the back end, but it will not result in any kills going over to GGA.
The Thieves with the return play. Sword just smurfing on this Galio. The Justice Punch forward with the Everfrost and Taunt combo onto Iconic. Gets one shot through the CC, and then the Galio ultimate on top of Sniper keeps him alive as Tony Top and Chime try to go in They take down the support. Remember, the stopwatch was used in the previous fight by Chime. And that, just like that, 2 for 0. Not only do they win the fight, but they stall out the Baron immensely. Only a minute left on it, and it's currently a negative Baron power play.
That's just props to 100 Thieves next, finding the correct engage, and it's been Sword with the perfect Heroes entrances, it seems like, in a lot of these team fights that 100X are ending up on top with. Now sitting at 5-1 and 5 still, has only died 1 time, which is very impressive when you consider the sort of playstyle that he's going for in this game. And he and the rest of the team are still in a decent position to try and turn this game around. 40 seconds on the Baron power play left for Golden Guardians. And they're going to just try to use that advantage to push mid and also maybe get some of the lanes forward in the top side.
Here we go. We can see a commitment forward on a Sword.
It's just Ryoma for now. Sword is pretty
Iconic's
tanky.
on the way.
It has a decent amount of damage, but the rest of the Golden Guardians lineup is on the approach. Iconic already popping the Misk, and Sword is definitely in a bad spot. How much time can he buy before the rest of the team arrives? He's going to use the Justice Punch forward. Actually ends up almost taking down Ryoma. 6A was the one who lands the final blow, as the rest of the team has hovered around this top side to try and match. Not going to find anything just yet. Tony top, though, in a decent position to maybe go for some sort of flank. TP in from Ryoma, who has refilled the health bar, and the curtain call has opened up. Slowing down Fnatic, locking down Donbray. Donbray is dead. Now Chime doesn't have the flash, but does have the ultimate. Not going to use it aggressively just yet. 100 Thieves lose 2 on that side as Golden Guardians are going to fight with the numbers advantage for now.
Golden Guardians, the multi-lane chase down. First, it's Ryoma onto Sword, just trying to keep him in place while his team arrives. Forces Sword into a bad spot. Takes him down, and then the teleport in towards mid. Curtain call to slow them down. They manage to pick down Donbray as well. Does not result in too much of an objective lead, however. And with a lot of cooldowns burned, no fight to be had in the bottom side here, but Golden Guardians Academy mostly just going to get priority over this dragon from the previous kills. 100 Thieves next, however, is here to contest. Remember, only 2 dragons to 0 due to how late the first dragon was taken. Soul is at least 5 minutes away should 100 Thieves next secure this one. Stix is currently mid, Ryoma coming from base.
We'll see if 100 next are the ones to start this off. It's a very similar position as to the last dragon fight. Golden Guardians Academy have a decent position to try and go for a flank. Ryoma and Chime have both jumped over to behind the side of 100 next. Dragon is still very, very high value in HP, ticking to about 3,000 gold. And actually, it's Iconic that ends up taking it down with the Q smite. So the soul has been delayed for now, and maybe Golden Guardians Academy want to look for a little bit more. Fnatic is low, but instead, looks like Golden Guardians are going to take the win at just that and look to prioritize their push into the mid lane.
Yeah, really nice win right there from Golden Guardians Academy. They didn't really want to commit to the fight if they didn't have to, and big true shot barrage, but they didn't have to, and that was the key. Iconic walks up, hits the smite in the 50-50, and then walks away, and they're able to leverage the mid priority that Stix had established earlier to then kill off the tier 2. So, big win, and Ryoma's still pushing on the top side. 100 next. Looks like they're a little behind on this play. They will threaten towards the mid tier 1.
Gotta remember though, Baron is spawning in about a minute. With Ryoma having that top wave pushed in, leaves Golden Guardians Academy at a very good spot, especially considering that top teleport is available onto Tony top if anything starts to go awry. Looks like nobody is going to hover around this objective for now, but definitely will be the topic of conversation in just a little bit.
And as the mid game sort of is at its eclipse right here, and we are moving towards the late game, as it were, Golden Guardians Academy, it was as explosive as expected. 17-14 is the kill score. That is almost a kill a minute. It actually is a kill a minute currently, as both these teams have been throwing haymakers back and forth. But at the end of it all, it is Golden Guardians Academy that has managed to come out just one step ahead the entire game. They're still maintaining a 3,000 gold lead. However, keep in mind, the gold lead has not gone over about 4,000. So
yeah,
it's not as if Golden Guardians has been extending their lead throughout this game, but they have managed to at least stay ahead, keep the Thieves at bay, as they have fought back nicely.
This is a new little addition to the game here in Season 12. The Hex Gates portals are finally unlocking here for both of these teams. It's a nice little way to get into the fights a little bit faster here with this rift on the map. Let's take a look here, 28.5 minutes into this game. Array sitting just nice and steady here at that 3-item mark. Interestingly enough, though, I wanted to talk about Array because he has a Luden's Echo.
They started Baron.
Which is a bit strange here, but gotta focus here onto the bot side. Chime gets one shot here with a nice pick coming out from Sword, and the rest of 100 Thieves next. Now, with a 4v5 advantage, 100X is onto the Baron. What will GGA do?
Yeah, absolutely incredible play here from 100 next. They start the Baron, the blue trinket baits Chime into the face check, and they just one-shot the enemy support. This is a contest coming through here from Golden Guardians Academy. The Baron secured. Tony Top is free pushing on the bottom side.
Inhibitor tower under fire here by Tony Top. Does have the Divine Sunderer to provide a whole lot of damage to these turrets. Will be able to take this one down and will likely be able to escape with his life unless Sword and the Predator has something to say about it.
If they're feeling crazy.
Tony
I
Top
mean, I don't expect to see
run.
that.
Yeah, the hook shots are just too much, it seems. So looks like Tony will get away. We Baron traded for a bot lane inhibitor turret, which is the trade that 100 next will take any day of the week.
Yeah,
oh wait!
They're teleporting behind top.
Look at this! They're trying to fight. Double TP coming in from 100 Thieves. Iconic is taken very, very low. Steric's already popped, but the gold card does land on the sniper. Viego is still alive, and you have to keep an eye out on him for some of these resets if they end up coming through. Sword trying to chunk out the rest of the members here of Golden Guardians Academy. A nice effort, potentially coming out of 100 Thieves, going for that double teleport, but at the end of the day, don't find anything of it.
Yeah, it looked like Sniper might have botched, actually, the melee Jace E, knocking Insanity away a little, Iconic away a little bit right there, allowing the Viego to escape. They do get the flashes off of both Iconic and Tony Top for the flash and double teleports on their own side. So at the end of the day, it's supposedly even trade at this point. No teleport in the TP lane, as well as Tony Top not having his available. But I almost wonder if 100 Thieves next is kicking themselves for not being able to pick up at least one pick right there.
Yeah, I mean, it was very close. Iconic had the Steric's gauge, which basically almost confirmed him to stay alive in that trade. Was able to use the Heartbreaker defensively to get out, but now will not have that flash for this spawning of the dragon. Remember that there is no soul on the table just yet, but still having some of that extra, ability to threaten that later down the line is going to be very important.
Absolutely, and Hextech Soul has proven to be a very powerful Dragon Soul. A lot of people would say that it's a more powerful version of Infernal Soul. It gives less damage, but the AoE slow that it provides is pretty impactful. It is a very powerful slow. It seems that 100 next might be the second team in this game to complete the negative Baron power play, something that you don't see every day. Feels like we've had a lot of negative Baron power play so far today, but it's actually Golden Guardians Academy.
Oh, Ryoma locking down Array. The cleanse has been used. Curtain call has been issued. Array tries to dodge away from the shots and will barely do so. He stays alive for a little bit longer, but finally get taken down by Ryoma. Numbers advantage now going over to Golden Guardians Academy after a nice use of the Destiny Gate from their mid laner. Look at Sword though. Going to try to lock down Tony Top. The kills on Galio do for you. Dragon will get secured by GGA, but now the fight is only beginning. Nice three-man charm coming over from Don. Iconic has to use the ultimate to try and escape. Sword is in the middle of the enemy team trying to lock anybody down that he possibly can. Look at Fnatic though, using that Crescent Guard in on the Stixay, and he will secure the crucial shutdown onto the Jhin. Sniper with the Shock Blast takes down Iconic as well, and it is another well-on fight for 100 Thieves next.
Back and forth and back again. This time Golden Guardians takes the dragon but lose the fight. 100 next with the chase down. No ADC, no problem. Sword one-shots the enemy top, and then the grand entrance into the middle of the fight, knocking up one. The chase down onto two. 3 for 1 is the overall score. Dragon in favor of Golden Guardians. Inhibitor turret in favor of 100 next. This game is non-stop action. 18-18 is the kill score. Inhibitor will drop as Fnatic is in trouble.
Yeah, he gets locked up here. Has a huge amount of healing with the Gore Drinker Chime. Gets a nice couple of stuns, but 100 next is just stacked
the respawns in 2 seconds.
And are doing so much work here in this group. Tony Top has to use that Hex Flash away, but look at Chime landing a 3-man Magnus Storm. Will get taken down, but look at Fnatic. Gets taken down by the first shot. Second shot from Stixay comes through as well. 3 kills for GGA. As it looks like 100 Thieves might have bit off a bit more they can shoot than they could have shown. And now Sniper is out of position as well. Will get taken down by Ryoma. An Array might be in a bit of trouble as well. Has to use the shift away. The stun will land on to him by Iconic. The aces come through. And could this be the end of the game, Hawk?
Yeah, the death timers are so long. 25 seconds on Fnatic. Sword down for 30, and that's really your primary wave clear. Teleport coming into the mid lane from the Twisted Fate. Golden Guardians 4 men strong. They might just be able to do it. I'm not so sure, though. The death timers might not be long enough.
3 seconds on Donbray. Fnatic is up in 7. They will surely get this inhibitor turret at the very least. The question is, can GGA end the game? Donbray is alive, and so is Fnatic. The Nexus towers are now under fire. Fnatic has to dash forward, has to do something, has to stall at least for a little bit longer. 3-man, 4-man quickness coming in from Donbray, combined with the knockup of Sword, and 100 next are going to secure their base. They're going to get the double kill onto Sword and let Tony Top Hex use that hook shot away. One more shot will do a triple kill for the Galio, and 100 next stay alive.
Sword respawns with the grand entrance, and 100 next they hold the line as Stixxay takes the red buff in front of the arcane shift. What an incredible team fight. Stixxay is the only one alive. Is 100 next now gonna end the game?
They have the death timers, I think. 20 seconds on Ryoma as well as Iconic. It'll have to be Stixxay. Has that curtain call available, but doesn't really have the opportunity to use it at a very good spot. Has to wait for the carries. Remember, Iconic is very fed on this Viego sword. Will land a taunt onto Stixxay, and I think that might be it. There's the stopwatch. There's the open Nexus, and 100 Thieves next will take the first strike against an Academy team. This Proving Grounds split, as they will finish the open qualifiers with a 5-0 record.
100 next takes down the #1 seed, the only Academy team in this open qualifier here in the final game of the night. It was Golden Guardians that tried to deliver the final blow. It was Golden Guardians that tried to end the game, but it's 100 next that stands above. They held the line. They won the team fight. They pushed down mid and they ended the game.
We were talking about the trampoline bounce yesterday, Hawk. That was 2 trampolines stacked on top of each other, and you just kept bouncing back and forth between them. What a game that was. 100 Thieves next ended up almost ending the game, and then they almost lost the game, and then they actually ended the game at the end. What a way to close out the open qualifiers here of the Unified Proving Grounds qualifiers. And yeah, now 100 Thieves securing that first seed will have a maybe an easier road to get into the next stages as we continue to progress towards the tournament. But Golden Guardians Academy also in a good spot to do well. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is not the last time that we see this matchup this month.
Absolutely not. Entirely possible that was just a preview of the finals. I mean, what an insanely exciting game. It feels weird to say only 35 minutes, but it felt longer to me as we were watching it with how back and forth the game was. It was like watching a tennis match, back and forth, one team after another. But if we look at those damage graphs, it's Sword at the top on the Galio. I said at the beginning of the game, a Galio might not be the champion that you want 3 kills on. Well, I was wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it, Hawk. Most damage in the game, beating out poke champions like General Snipers, Jason, or Raze Ezreal even. Very, very great play coming out of Sword, who, remember, was a sub coming to the first game of the day, replacing Insanity. Obviously going to see much more of Sword later on this season, as he will start it off on 100 Thieves Academy and later make his way back to 100 next. But overall, just really great stuff all around, and yeah, definitely big shout out to Sword.
Yeah, and everybody in this game, it felt like, had their moments. You know, Array with the fancy footwork on the Ezreal, doing the damage over the top. Sniper generating so much pressure up there on the top side. Fnatic being there for it with Donbray. And then on the side of Golden Guardians Academy, every step of the way, it felt like they were one step ahead. But when it came down to teamfight execution, 100 next was right there with them.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's really exciting to see out of a team that, of course, was regarded very, very highly. But remember, it's still an amateur team, still at that lower tier when you compare it to somebody like Golden Guardians Academy. Obviously, as we get further and further into Proving Grounds and enter the main event where all the Academy teams will be playing against some of the top amateur teams, always expect to see some spice there. But it's exciting that we saw these 2 titans clash against each other so early on. And I'm just really excited for what's to come.
Definitely. And you know, a lot of times when you see a seed against the 2 seed and the 2 seed wins, it's not that much of an upset, right? Like it's hey, they were the 2 favorites. But coming into this tournament, Golden Guardians Academy, I think, was considered by many to be the unanimous favorite for this tournament. They were the Academy team. So don't let the fact that it was a 1 seed against a 2 seed, the 2 favorites, distract from the fact that this was an upset. And it's not that Golden Guardians Academy didn't play at their best. It's just that 100 Next is proving that there is so much talent in North America that these players are up to the task and put on an absolute show today. We got to see them play twice. They went 5-0 here in the Swiss bracket, taking down an incredibly talented Maryville team, taking down the Academy team, taking down Immortals AoE on Unified 2 in absolutely blistering pace. I mean, that is already an incredible resume for the squad.
And we are so excited to continue to see more and more of 100 Thieves Next, as well as all the other teams that ended up qualifying at the end of the day here at the Unified Proving Grounds Qualifier. 16 are left after we started off with 32. Group stages will start tomorrow as we are just getting started here in the amateur season. And with that, that will be the final time that we'll be here on the broadcast today. Hawk, thank you so much for being alongside me through these open qualifiers. We are going to sign off for now, but there is still another game going on Unified 2, so make sure to go over there and watch that finisher, which is definitely going to be a good one. With that, we'll say so long and have a wonderful night.